Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to What If Deku Had Dark Matter? Or What If Deku Had a Dark Matter Quirk Part 3. Now I'm not going to drag out this intro for too long, actually I might drag out a bit too long, so I'll make the video longer, but explanations why I've been gone. 1. I started school again and a bunch of stuff started happening and it crashed. I ain't even an excuse, I didn't just crash, bro. Ow, plummeted. I'm struggling to keep up with making videos, going to school and writing scripts, so it's been a bit hectic. But even with that, I'm still trying to keep the uploads going. I'm back from today, hopefully. I bet you can hear my voice how drained I am. And that's not even the most important bit. Basically, the main reason I've been gone is my granddad had a stroke. And it all went a bit hectic with my family, and I thought maybe I should just be a better son and grandson, like not like that, like maybe I should make sure my mum's alright, stop spending my time on my PC the entire day and like talk to my family and all that. I talk to them anyway, but talk to them more on it. So I hope you guys do understand that, and I'm fine, just a bit but yeah, other than that guys, that's all I really have to say. I'm gonna try to get the energy back into my voice. I'm sorry, I just got really tired. Been a long day. But anyway guys, by the time I cut to the intro, I should have my energy back. And let's get straight on with this video. Hit the like button please, comment down below, hit the notification bell, subscribe. And yeah, other than that guys, let's get straight into the video. Cue the intro. We now go to Deku, who's awake. Why did I say Deku? We now go to Deku, who's just woken up in the UA infirmary, where Denki, Kirishima, Melissa, and Bakugou are all asleep in his room. He tries to sit up, but he winces in pain. He then remembers why he's in the infirmary and giggles and says, "I'll beat the fuck out of that prick." Deku then gets out of his bed and uses his dark matter to heal his injuries, and then goes over to Bakugou and is about to tap his face to wake him up, until a weird voice in his head yells, "Kill him!" and then laughs like a psychopath. Deku jumps back caught off guard and looks around his room trying to find out who said that. When he sees no one, he assumes it was all in his head. Then when he hears it again, but this time it's screaming on repeat, "Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Kill him before he kills you!" Suddenly Deku's right eye begins to burn as he stumbles to the mirror. And when he looks in it, he sees his right eye was completely black and his reflection was smiling at him. Somehow Deku's reflection begins to talk to him and says, "Hey there Izuku buddy, I know that you must be sad to see me, but first you got to kill all of them." Deku tries to ask why, and just gets a reply, "They're not real Izuku after all. They're not real friends Izuku, after all the pain you've been through, everyone else is more concerned with themselves and still expect you to be there for them. Just kill them all and focus on yourself." Deku just says no. But after he says this other him that's talking to him says, "Fine, I'll do it myself. Just remember, I'm trying to help you." Suddenly, Deku's entire right side of his body goes numb, and his arm raises, like very slowly, and he soon realizes that the right side of his body is completely black. He aims at a Bakugou and electric whip activates just before it shoots and goes right through Bakugou's chest. Deku screams "No!" and pulls his arm out in a last ditch effort and yanks it down. He then builds up as much dark matter as he can in his legs, and he jumps out full force through the wall, flying across the entire city to the other side of it. Deku begins to free fall out the sky, not being able to concentrate due to the immense pain that he's in right now. The voice appears again in his head and laughs. "Damn Izuku, you're gonna kill both of us at this rate." Yet again, Deku's right side activates, and an electric grip activates and wraps around a lamppost, stopping him from hitting the ground and swinging him like Spider-Man. Deku stumbles into an alleyway as he's beginning to see double in his visions due to the pain, and he slumps down onto a wall. The voice appears in his head again and says, "Izuku, this could all end just now, listen to me already." Deku says, "No, what are you?" The voice just laughs and says, "I'm you Izuku. Well, I'm the part of you that you bury deep down and try to hide from everyone else. You've left me alone for so long. I've gathered enough dark matter and now I'm sentient. But with me being created from all the emotions you hide, your rage, your sadness, your loneliness, and most importantly, your urge to kill, I'm basically the you who will kill someone even if they breathed funny, or if they looked at me the wrong way. As they was talking, trying to figure out what it was, a bunch of thugs began to walk towards Deku and says, "Look what we got here, a little nitty taking it." By the way, I don't know if USA knows it or wherever you're from. Nitty in the UK probably is, it's like a drug addict, like some little scumbag who injects heroin into himself and sits on the side of the road going, like all that. And if you get offended by me saying that, you can fuck off. Anyway, these like thugs say, "Look what we got here, a little nitty talking to himself. Give us all your money and we'll only beat you up a little bit." Deku has now, after all he's been through, no longer has the patience as his true rage seeps out, and the other voice begins to laugh like a maniac.
This is my chance to show you what we can really do.
Sorry guys, let me turn my speaker down. Suddenly, a notification appears in front of Deku which says Berserk mode activated. Deku's eyes become black, and for the real Deku, he's stuck in his own mind as if he's watching a video game, as his dark version of himself takes control and absolutely begins to slaughter, and I mean slaughter like was on a little pig farm, and he's getting decapitated. Began to slaughter the thugs, beheading each one of them as they screamed. Deku is now back in control, is limping back to UA, where everyone is in a panic looking for him. As he managed to get to the gate, Bakugou runs up to him and hugs him, nearly crying, says, "You idiot, what happened to you? How do you leave the hospital and come back even more beat up than when we left?" Deku laughs and says, "I don't even remember leaving the hospital," as he blacks out. Deku is now dreaming as he's talking to his dark self and making a deal. Deku says, "You can never kill people again. Like, ever, nothing like that again." And Dark Deku just says, "Piss off. Counter offer, I won't kill your friends or people who don't deserve it. But if someone really pisses me off where they just deserve it, it's fair game. Even if it's your mate, I'll kill him. No, I won't just kill him. I'll skin him alive. But remember, they have to deserve it." Deku realizes this is the best deal he's gonna get, and he just says, "Fine, but you have to stick to it." He decides that he's just gonna agree to this and prays that nothing goes wrong. We now skip a week to where Deku's in his class, and as Aoi is now announcing the UA Sports Festival, and you will all be moving into your dorms for safety, of course. Deku ignores the dorm bit and begins to worry about the sports festival. What if something happens and someone pisses off the Dark Deku and it kills them? Deku decides he doesn't need to pray, but he hears a commotion at the classroom door. As he walks over, he sees that it's Class 1B. And Deku sees a blonde-haired kid named Monoma giving verbal to Bakugou, saying that he will replace him, he will be the #1 hero, and that Bakugou is just a villain. Deku's temper begins to slip out of control, and he can feel Dark Deku trying to crawl out. Deku's had enough and walked over and says, "Oi!" As Monoma turns, Deku punches him hard in his face, breaking his nose and sending him flying backwards. This of course happened because even Deku knew it himself. Dark Deku was influencing him, but he didn't care. This little bitch needed to learn a lesson. Deku walked over to Monoma, who was on the floor, and picked him up by his hair and whispered in his ear, if you even think about opening your mouth near me again, don't. If you want to insult my friends, don't. And if you don't listen to me, I'll break every single bone in your body one at a time, and there's nothing you can do but beg me to stop. And when I finally do stop, I'm gonna get a knife and I'm gonna skin you like the filthy animal you fucking are, and I'll piss off." By now everyone's looking at this and was just shocked. No one heard what Deku said, but they all saw the punch. Then Bakugou grabbed Deku by the wrist and yelled, "Enough, Deku! What are you playing at? There was no need to go that far." Deku can hear Dark Deku in, and "Oh fuck no, who the fuck do you think you are putting your hands on me?" Dark Deku then yells, "Sorry Zuko, I won't kill him, but he's getting his ass beat." Before Deku can stop it, Dark Deku partially takes control, and one of Deku's eyes turns completely black, and he grabs Bakugou by the collar and slams him into the wall and says, "Who the fuck are you to grab me? Don't think that you're any different from that sad prick down there on the floor. Push your luck and I'll kill you." Everyone hearing this was shocked. These two were best friends, yet they looked like they was about to kill each other. Bakugou noticed Deku's eyes. It's the same as back then, at the USJ. He says, "Deku, What happened to you? Bakugou tried to touch his face to calm Deku down, but Dark Deku dropped him and walked off, so he doesn't reveal what he is. As he's walking away, Bakugou grabbed Deku by his collar and yelled, "We're not done here yet, Deku!" Rage shot throughout Deku's body, as Dark Deku's gained even more control, and he swung around and yelled, "I warned you, you bastard!" and he right hooked Bakugou in the face. Everyone went dead quiet, even Bakugou, as no one could believe that what they just saw. Bakugou instantaneously activated full cow. And 1 second, I'm getting really annoyed. They're mocking it, bro, I'm telling you. 1 second, guys, my PC just turned black. He instantly activates full cow at 5% and yells, "You bastard!" and swung at Deku, but suddenly the entire right side of Deku's body turned black, and he caught the punch with no effort. Dark Deku just laughs and says,
"It's time to die, you bastard."
Dark Deku just boots Bakugou in his chest, making him spit out blood and go flying across the hallway. Before he could even recover, Dark Deku appears in front of, above Bakugou, and swings his hand down. Bakugou realizes he can't dodge this until it seems like Deku's body freezes up. The real Deku is fighting, and Bakugou barely managed to dodge using explosions to send him and Deku flying backwards in opposite directions. Before they could rush back at each other, Aizawa pins Bakugou and All Might pins Deku, while pinning Deku begins to scream in agony and yells, "Get the fuck out!" as his skin returns to normal, leaving him in a cold sweat. Everyone who saw this knew then and there that Deku wasn't in full control, but before they could ask him anything, Deku managed to push All Might off him and open a portal to his house and get away. For the next week, Deku didn't show up to school and spent at home with his family, ignoring everyone else, while trying to control Dark Deku, or at least get into a mutual understanding with him. Finally, the day of the sports festival came around and Deku came into school. Everyone in class B just avoided him, and those in class 1A tried to talk to him like Hiroshima and Denki, but was just ignored. Deku walked past him. Then Melissa tried to talk to Deku, and he just blanked her, but she kept on trying to talk until Deku finally said, Can you piss off already? Haven't I made it obvious I don't want to talk to you lot?" Melissa refuses to leave Deku alone. Then Deku's right eye turns black and his voice deepens, and he roars out,
"Piss off! I said, piss off for the final time, you blonde bitch. I will drag you out the fucking window."
If that didn't make sense, I don't know. Melissa was scared by this and froze in place long enough for Deku to walk off. While in the corridor, All Might tried to talk to him and asked what happened, but Deku replies, "Piss off, I'm not your successor, you old bastard. Why don't you go ask him?" After this, Aizawa tried to talk to Deku, but Deku ignored him. Aizawa tries to threaten Deku with expulsion, but Deku just smirks and turns around and says, "Do what you want. You'll be responsible for the vigilante running around that even All Might can't stop." The UA Sports Festival begins, and for the race, Deku doesn't mess around at all and opens a portal and just teleports to the end, instantly getting first place. Then the event team happens. The team event happens, there we go, like the 4 horsemen race, or the 4 horse thing. But for this event, Deku just creates minions that are dark matter for his team. Due to what happened the week before, no one dared to go near him. And of course, he got first place as he just surrounded himself in dark matter and no one could touch him. We then go to the Shinso versus Deku fight. It begins going normal and Deku is just trying to end it quick without hurting anyone. But he actually answers Shishui's question and he's get put under mind control. Shishui, he doesn't know why, he gets dragged inside of Deku's mind. This has never happened before and it's pitch black everywhere. All of a sudden he sees someone who looks like a Zuku, but their hair's pitch black as well as their eyes. We know this is Dark Deku, and he appears there and begins to strangle Shinso. I don't know why I said Shisui, oh my god, Shinso. But no one saw this. The only thing left was a bruise on his neck, and he fell unconscious while standing there. So of course Deku won that. We're gonna go to the main ones. Deku versus Todoroki. Deku was easily won with ease, even without trying, which annoyed Todoroki, and he began to send more and more eyes at him. Deku says very calmly, "What the fuck are you doing? You're bitching about how this is your father's quirk. Are you your father? You're so proud to say you're not going to be like your dad. So make the quirk your own, you bloody scallywag." After hearing this, Todoroki had enough. He exploded with anger, not from Deku, just from his memories. This activated his fire quirk, but he still lost to Deku even after the matches clash, and Deku used vacuum to sustain his quirk. Finally, Deku versus Bakugou begins. They start with just looking at each other. Deku feeling guilt and Bakugou feeling concern, as he still hadn't figured out what that was after he spoke to All Might. They both agreed that it seemed like Deku wasn't in control during their fight. Bakugou knows that Deku won't tell him, so he's just gonna have to beat it out of him. It begins, and Bakugou uses his explosion to send himself flying towards Deku and throws a punch. Deku blocks it, even though he could have easily dodged it, and he gets him flying backwards. Bakugou keeps up with the pressure and comes in hurdling in full cow 10%, punching Deku in the stomach, which wins Deku, and Bakugou grabs Deku by his collar and slams him into the ground. Bakugou is now on top of Deku, throwing punch after punch after punch, and Deku isn't blocking. As in his head we just hear Dark Deku yelling, "Come on Izuku, let me out and we'll win, I promise. I won't kill him, I'll just knock him out." Deku replies, "No, not after the last time. I'm just gonna let him beat me up and let him win, then apologise." Dark Deku smiles and then sweats and says, "I didn't want to have to do this, but you're leaving me no choice." Suddenly a notification appears in front of Deku, which says, Berserk skill is being forcefully activated. Percentage is slowly rising. Now back in reality, Bakugou's just been punching Deku's face from a peak. He moved it down to 2% full power because he doesn't want to kill him, basically. But suddenly he can see the change in Deku's facial expression. It's like he's been in pain until now. It looked like he was in pain until now, but now he looks like he's ready to fight. Deku's right arm twitches and suddenly swings, punching Bakugou in the face. So Deku manages to grab his arm and slam it back down, holding it down. Bakugou jumps back up to 10%, and Bakugou can see small black sparks appearing on the right side of Deku's body. Bakugou smirks, as his main goal was to cause whatever took control of Deku before to do it again. He then goes to 50% and begins to yell, "Deku, I never knew you this weak. Not fighting back. What are you, a pussy? You're an embarrassment." After hearing these words, no matter how much Deku tries to hold the Berserker back, it jumps to 50%, and Deku's right eye becomes completely back, and the psychotic smile appears in Deku's face. He rushes at Bakugou and he punches Bakugou again, but this time, Bakugou is the one who goes flying. And he lands, and I can tell that this isn't the normal Deku anymore. He isn't fighting. Dark Deku laughs and just yells, "This is what you wanted, right, Bakugou? You wanted to fight me and not that boring old wimp who was gonna let you win. Well, not me, I promise you. I promised Izuku that I won't kill you, but I never said I wouldn't cripple you." As a Dark Deku rushes towards Bakugou, insanely fast, jabbing him in his chest and then roundhouse kicking his face. Bakugou gets up stumbling, but this time goes to his limit and yells, "Full cow 25%! And before Dark Deku can react, Bakugou runs at him using a massive explosion, using visible burns all over Deku's body, but they just heal instantly. Now inside Deku's head, the real Deku has been locked up in a cage, trying to claw his way out. As Dark Deku just says, "Relax, I'm not actually going to cripple him. Just enjoy your time being free of responsibility, feelings, anything that was holding you down before is gone in here. Just let me deal with it for a bit." These words hit Deku in a different place. No one's ever offered to do that from before. But he's not going to stop. Deku manages to get out of the cage, but he sees his Berserk skills already reached 75%. Dark Deku is now untouchable to Bakugou. As Dark Deku just laughs and says, one second guys.
How does it feel to be helpless, unable to do anything? It's not nice, is it? But hey, at least at the end of the day you have a whole family to go back to. Well, guess what? Izuku doesn't have a whole family to get back to. He had to sit there and be helpless and watch his father die, and then shoulder the responsibility of his father, his company, being a father to his siblings, and all of that while bottling up his feelings, or slowly falling into the darkness. And don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. You just sat there and watched as all those years flew by, slowly overwhelming him, and did nothing. I say that's pretty shitty coming from
best friend. Bakugou hearing this begins to try and says, I didn't know what to do, it isn't my fault. My life isn't perfect either, I suffered too that night. The Berserk percentage jumps to 80% as half of Deku's body turns black, and in a black flash Deku jabs Bakugou yet again, making his head bounce off the ground. Deku's voice then begins to glitch from dark to normal as he begins to kick Bakugou around the arena and says, you people always find a way to make it about you, no matter the situation. My dad was murdered in front of me, and yet you suffered. You still have a father to go home to. You don't have to bear the weight on of the world on your shoulders. Yet you're the one here crying. I'm sick to death of it. Bakugou, who's bloodied and beaten, manages to mutter the words, "Stop! Your father would be ashamed to see you like this." This is what it was. This was the final push. Berserker reached 100% as Deku's entire body becomes dark matter, and the gravity in the entire world becomes so heavy no one can stand. Deku's speeding around the arena faster than anyone can keep up, hitting Bakugou with attack after attack after attack, screaming, "How dare you tell me what my father thinks of me!" As Bakugou gets hit over and over again, bones begin to break after again and again and again. And in a demented screech, he yells, Deku yells, "I will kill you here so you can ask my father what he truly thinks of me." Berserker Deku is now on top of Bakugou, blade of dark matter in hand, ready to stab him, until he feels a hand on his shoulder that sends a warm feeling throughout his entire body. He turns his head ready to attack, but just freezes in shock and mumbles, "Dad?" Deku begins to break down crying, hugging his dad, not even able to get his words out until his dad finally says, "My sweet Izuku, this isn't you. Yeah, sure Bakugou messed up, but how do you expect him to understand what you feel? As like you said, he has no idea what you went through or what it is like. I remember you and Bakugou as kids would always used to argue and fight, but by the end of the day you always grew closer than you were before. And this time isn't any different." Deku through his tears says, "No, it is. You're gone now. You left me on my own." His father laughs and says, "No, I never. I'm even closer to you now than I was before, because I'm with you here." Deku's dad places his hand on Deku's heart, and Deku feels a warm feeling spread throughout his body as power shoots over his body, and he returns to reality, still on top of Bakugou. He's shaking as he tries not to kill him, because Berserk is still activated. Suddenly Bakugou lunges his broken armor, wraps around Deku, bringing him in for a tight hug, and says, "I'm so sorry, Deku. I know I should have helped sooner when I saw you wasn't happy, but I was too concerned with myself, but I'm here now. Please forgive me." The darkness on Deku begins to fade as it completely disappears, and Deku, out of a reflex, heals Bakugou of course, and falls into the hug and begins to cry out loud. And while this is all happening, Deku gets a notification which he didn't even see, which says, "Berserker skill evolved into Dark Wrath." Anyway guys, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure you share with your friends, family, like, subscribe, comment down below, share with whoever you want. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss another daily upload. Check out my thumbnail artist, join the Discord, and yeah, follow me on Instagram, add me on Snapchat, all in the description, cause yeah. Oh, please add me on Snapchat and Instagram. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's a bit of fun. But anyway guys, I'm gonna stop wasting time. I'm just rubbing my face trying to stay awake because I want to bake a cake. If that ain't right, I'm gonna hit you with a rake. Okay, I'm so confused. I'm gonna stop waffling now guys. Hope you did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Love.